some non-defining relative clauses, sometimes they do not describe a noun. Okay? One of the cases we have already discussed. Remember when which refers to the whole sentence, the whole previous clause? So that's inside this topic. Okay? And there are some other cases. Okay? So they are called here connecting relative clauses. It's not a different type of relative clause. It's just a non-defining relative clause. But it doesn't act as like an adjective. Okay? They do not describe a noun. They just kind of continue the story. Okay? Let's see. After the object of the main verb, this could happen. For example, she asked the teacher. So the teacher is the object of the main verb, right? The main verb is asked. Correct? Now, so after this object of the main verb, you can refer to it like this. She asked the teacher, who answered it was correct. So who answered is like a relative clause, right? But it's just connecting it to this other clause over here, see? It's not really giving any like new information about the teacher. It's just keep continuing the story. You see, so it's a little bit different. And there is no comma over here, you see? You don't put comma over here, you see? Okay? Because this clause is the object of this clause. So this is actually one entire clause divided into two clauses. Okay? But this relative clause over here is just kind of connecting to this one, you see? We say this when we're telling stories. Okay? She asked the teacher, who answered this or that. You understand? So this who answered is a connecting relative clause. Okay? Or it could also happen here after a preposition and a noun. Percy gave it to Harry. Okay? To preposition, noun, Harry. And now, who gave it to Ron? You see? Who gave it to Ron is also like a relative clause as well. But it's not really saying anything about Harry, you see? You understand? So it's just continuing the story. Do you see the difference? It's not saying something about Harry, for example, who is a boy, blah, 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 blah. It's not saying something about Harry. He's just saying that Harry gave it to Ron. You know? Percy gave it to Harry, Harry gave it to Ron. You understand? So it's a bit different. Percy gave it to Harry, who gave it to Ron. Okay? You could say the same with and or but. Percy gave it to Harry and he gave it to Ron, you see? This is just a conjunction and then another independent clause. Okay, so it's saying the same, but you can say it like this. Percy gave it to Harry, who gave it to Ron. Or Percy gave it to Harry and he gave it to Ron. Or and Harry gave it to Ron. Okay, so this relative clause over here is just like connecting. Okay? Even here I feel like there is no other clause apart from this one. So it's just connecting in terms of connecting the story, connecting the facts, not necessarily connecting clauses. Okay? They drank wine, which made them drunk. This we had already discussed. Remember? The relative pronoun which not referring to wine, but to the whole previous clause, the whole situation. So here, they drank wine. Now, this situation of drinking wine made them drunk. Okay?
But who is only refer to the previous one?
Yeah, you cannot use who in this case, referring to the whole, which can refer to many words. Which. Okay? Not who. Okay? So which can be used like this, referring to the previous entire clause. This is not new. Second time we see this. Let's see the next. The Donners bought a dozen avocados. Maybe it's misspelled. Avocados. Avocados. Okay, like this. Avocados. The Donners bought a dozen avocados, 6 of which were still green. This we discussed this, remember, in here. Quantifying determiners. Quantifying determiners. Okay? Later you take a look, Parisudo, you missed this. Some of which, none of which, the first of whom, etc. So why is this over here? Is this a connecting relative clause? Yeah, it's under the quantifying determiners, right? But maybe it's a connecting relative clause as well. I feel it's like saying something more. Connecting relative clauses. Give me a moment. Connective relative clauses. Yeah, it's over here under connective relative clauses. Okay, so then let me change this. Instead of we're still green, which looks like saying more adjectives. Okay, Donner bought a dozen avocado, 6 of which were lost on the way. Okay? So, 6 of which were lost. Okay, it's just continuing the story. Just continuing the story. Yes. It's not saying something about the avocados in themselves, it's just continuing the story. Okay. Here, when which refers to the whole clause, he ran away, which made her cry. But it's already here, right? Where was it? Here. They drank wine, which made them drunk. They drank wine, which made them drunk. So here, which, okay. Okay, so which can refer here, look at this sentence for a moment. Which can refer to wine, or it can refer to the whole situation, okay? So this example is over here thinking of referring to wine, okay? So they drank wine, and the wine made them drunk, okay? So this is considered a connecting relative clause. And when which, here in this case, he ran away, there's no noun even, you see? So then it's very clearly referring to the clause itself. He ran away, which made her cry. Then this which refers to the whole previous clause. Okay? It's also a connecting relative clause. Okay? It's just for you to have a better understanding. Okay? Just for you to understand that sometimes relative clauses are not acting as an adjective. Okay? Okay. Can you make a sentence like this, for example? You have to use it like this. For example, a series of events. This happened, and then this happened. Okay? And you have to use a relative clause like this. You see? For example, Percy gave it to Harry, who gave it to Ron. Okay, the teacher told the student, who told the devotee. You understand? Something like this. Can you do it like this? And please make one like this. One in which refers to a whole clause. I think these two cases are quite important and useful.
Okay. Past tense. We past tense.
Run away?
We use the past always past verb in past tense.
Ran away here?
No. All these example.
They're all in the past.
All in the past.
Yeah, they're all in the past, but because usually you're telling a story, something that happened, this happened and this happened, and he said he did this to this, who did this. So I think most often is in the past. But I think it could be in another tense. Yeah, you could do it even in the future. I will give this to him, who will give it to the other. Something like that could be. Okay? Not necessarily in the past.